2 lifelong friends, 1 local establishment. The hidden truth is out there, and we're going to talk about it. What happens in the bar no longer stays in the bar. This is Conspiracy Beerists.
And welcome to the latest episode of Conspiracy Beerists. As you can see, we're here in the studio again. We hope you liked the video podcast we did last time, and we're going to keep doing it this way as long as you all enjoy it. So, Brian, how you doing?
Great. It's a good day.
Today was a good day.
You ready?
You didn't have to fire your AK or however that line goes.
I really don't know the line. Yeah. And I don't have an AK.
Did you mess around and get a triple double? Or
I do know that line. And that was one assist short, one dish.
So what we're going to do today is talk about a couple of topics. And before we even get started, if you enjoy the video podcast, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube.
Share it.
Spread the word, if you will.
Like Bono.
And not this episode, but the next one, we have a little bit of a surprise for some of our listeners that we're going to reveal, but we're not going to do it today.
Looks like a surprise to more than just the listeners.
Well, what did you just give me this for?
Oh, yeah. Edit.
Nah, I'm not.
That's what the edit means. Edit.
That's what we changed the name of the podcast to, edit.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about HAARP and the various things about HAARP. So we have a little video that we will play right now, and then we will get into it after.
Program. What does HAARP do? HAARP is a large antenna where we beam radio frequency energy up into the upper atmosphere, and we create on a small scale what the sun normally does.
The assignment came that the Navy and the Air Force were to manage the program.
Applications discussed in the patents included destroying missiles. Communications control and disruption were included. There were some other ideas both to possibly modify weather and finally to lift a portion of the upper atmosphere further out into space where hopefully it would be able to deflect missile trajectories.
Well, I don't know. Are you right? So that's the gist of what HAARP is. Anything you want to tack on to what that video said?
Not really. It's people think it's a weather machine, a weather weapon, but there's actually no evidence of it, unless you found something.
Nope.
But like I said last episode, there was a Smurf cartoon. It was called actually Foul Weather Smurf. And this, when they do this predictive programming, there's a reason for it. So they got this fair weather Smurf, and they're having this picnic. It's like the Smurf family picnic or whatever they call it. Annual Smurf picnic. And it starts raining. So inventor Smurf or nerd Smurf or whatever it is. He's like, I'm going to make a weather machine. And everyone's like, all right, yeah, right. You're sure you are. It's pouring down rain, right? And they want to go.
Brainy Smurf?
It is Brainy Smurf.
Okay, yeah.
A dork. Speaking of nerdy.
Well, look around you.
If I see a nerd Smurf or whatever, it'd be fucking weird. But so he ends up making this machine that's a weather Smurf. So they get their annual Smurfy picnic, and they're walking up towards this picnic, and there's one with a harp. And he's playing, and the guy's like, hey, you gonna play that harp at the picnic? And it's just weird how there's no coincidences like that.
Right.
There shouldn't be. There's a reason that was put in there like that.
And did he tell him to go smurf himself after that?
Him and that little one girl
Smurfette.
Yeah, Smurfette. And
So she's
Papa
saying
Smurf. Weird.
She got smurfed.
Papa Smurf and Smurfette.
Well, it did come from the French, so there you have. Sorry for any French listeners out there.
Hollywood.
So you don't think there's any proof of weather manipulation, but
they do. People are talking also. When I say people, I mean like people on the internet or whatever. And they talk about the jet streams that come out of the sky. It's supposed to be just oxygen, right?
Right.
And they talk about cloud seeding, which makes it rain. So that's weather manipulation.
Well, one thing, if you want to go on the textbook definition or whatever, HAARP is supposed to shoot the radio frequency up into the atmosphere, much like the sun shoots the same frequencies into the atmosphere, and they're studying that weather patterns and stuff. I don't know if I completely buy it either, but like you said, a lot of people say weather manipulation is part of it. Radar detection is another one that's all part of the Cold War back in the 70s and 80s.
They actually tried it in Vietnam. I don't think it was with HAARP.
Right.
But they tried weather manipulation, which was cloud seeding with a bunch of metals, small metals or whatever, into the clouds. And then they tried making the typhoon so that the Vietnamese couldn't get their
Well, they actually did that in, was it Japan or China for
one of
the Olympics? They actually seeded clouds and made it rain like for the opening or closing ceremonies.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's one of the things they were talking about in some of the videos that I watched in HAARP was they kept bringing
I guess Dubai does it like once a month or once a week.
Oh yeah, because it doesn't rain over there.
It doesn't rain, so why not make it rain, right? It's a big strip club over there.
So one of the other things was talking about the whole HAARP with natural disasters, creating hurricanes and
New Orleans.
Right. It could be, Katrina or Andrew in Florida or whatever, but who knows?
And then recently the hurricanes that hit down south where it I think it drilled Texas and just stayed there. The hurricane just stayed there.
Right.
People are thinking like, what the? And it was like they were against Obama. I think Texas was like against Obama, like they were going to go in their own separate state or separate country or something. And so everyone thought that they were manipulating the weather to make Texas get drilled by this hurricane. I mean, who knows?
I don't think that the federal government's that smart, but
you know what? I seen that video you just talked about just there, how they're not that smart. That's their go-to line, I think. Like, our government's not that smart to do that kind of shit. Whatever.
I'm talking federal
not
government.
Not you, but right. But it was on. Someone said that, and I was like, "That's what they make that line for." they invented conspiracy theorists.
Well, we're talking about HAARP, and one of the other things we brought up last time was the Taos hum, and then there's a similar thing in Michigan, northern UP, I believe, for a while. And it was this droning sound that only certain people could hear. And it made me wonder if that was something HAARP-esque that the shadow government. I mean,
if the HAARP can do that, and those fires we talked about in California
wildfires,
there was this lasers on this one video. They're coming down. Lasers coming down and looking like they were burning shit somehow. I don't know if it was trick photography and who knows, but they thought it was HAARP.
Maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if you go by,
it's owned by the Air Force and DARPA now.
Right. I was reading the thing, or not reading the thing. I don't read. Watching a video where they were talking about why they put it in Alaska. and it all came down, and I should have wrote the guy's name down that started the whole thing, but he ended up kind of turning out to be sort of a crackpot, and they basically kicked him out from everything other than
Yeah.
he had all this land in Alaska, and he had all these strange ideas about weather manipulation and stuff like that. So that's when the Air Force and DARPA started working with this dude, and then he just kind of went Looney Tunes, and they're like, okay, we'll take it from here. And
Yeah, right. We'll take it from here.
Yeah, I don't know if it was pew, pew, pew.
All right. Silencers.
Where'd he go?
Yeah.
So that kind of almost leads into the other thing we wanted to talk about, which will be a more in-depth conversation, because I think we have more to talk about with it, and that's mind control. So there's a lot to talk about with mind control, but before we do it, we have another quick little video that we think you will enjoy.
In the wake of World War II, the U.S. government is engaged in a large number of secret medical experiments designed to help win the Cold War. Developing techniques for mind control to create a so-called Manchurian candidate. What is the extent of these brainwashing experiments? How did the CIA become involved in such far-reaching and disturbing research? In May 1953, scientists at Porton Down are researching one of the most lethal nerve agents known to man, sarin. The experiments are conducted on military volunteers, but the young servicemen have no idea what they are letting themselves in for.
Kind of the tip of the iceberg of what we're going to talk about with mind control. But Brian, any thoughts about that before we dig deep into it?
I believe it, but I don't believe it.
Well, I mean, that was a video from National Geographic, so it's got to be true. If it
That's
was
right. See, damn it. If it's on TV, I don't believe it. But I mean, I'm sure there's parts to believe of it. I didn't know that one was on the TV. It was National
it was
Geographic.
from YouTube, but it was a National Geographic.
I really do. I really see if they're gonna put something on TV, it's probably not. I mean, maybe partially legit, but they don't want everybody to fucking know about it.
Well, it's once stuff gets,
And National Geographic, that porn. Right.
Well, it's once things get declassified and they don't really care anymore. There's
a lot that got declassified too in this on MK. When Bill Clinton, March 10th, 1995, came out and apologized for unethical experimentation on humans. But they're the fucking worst people in the world, Clintons.
Well, he's just apologizing for the government.
Yeah, he probably was fucking banging some intern. Changed it.
But the whole MK Ultra and the sarin nerve gas. And if you want to check out videos on YouTube or wherever it is you watch your videos at, just search mind control. And there was a really cool one that I watched, which is actually something I didn't know. And it was the CIA and the Canadian government had this agreement with a Dr. Ewan Cameron.
Did they have an agreement? Because some people are saying that Canada didn't know about it, but the United States was over there, the CIA was over there testing people. So, I mean...
So why, since some of these people that were in this program are getting paid off by the Canadian government now? So,
of course, why wouldn't you?
They didn't know.
Because their fucking life sucks.
If they didn't know, why would they be paying them off then?
Right.
But
Canada is America, dude. Canada's partially America.
I don't know.
And the guy who runs Canada, what's his name? Justin
Trudeau.
There's a conspiracy theory on him that I think I probably brought it up already, but I drink when I do this.
Well, that's why it's called conspiracy Beerists.
So, who's the one they killed in Libya? No.
Gaddafi?
Who's the other one? Not Libya, but God damn it.
Are you talking about Saddam Hussein?
No. The other one, the fucking guy that was Cuba.
Oh, Castro.
People think that Justin Trudeau is Castro's kid. They look alike. They do.
Well, a lot of people look alike.
But yeah, they do look alike. You're right. Maybe you're right.
I mean, I'm not saying he's not, but
I'm not saying he is. I probably should.
and for years, when Americans couldn't go to Cuba, they had to go to Canada to get a flight to go to Cuba.
Now, do they still get to not be able to go to Cuba?
No, I thought during the Obama
That
administration.
motherfucker changed it, didn't he? Because fucking Jay-Z and Beyonce wanted to go over there.
Could be. You never know.
Conspiracy. No, I do know. It's not never know. I do know.
This Ewan Cameron doctor was doing all sorts of weird stuff with like electroshock therapy and the sarin.
Rape, I heard.
Hmm?
Rape too, right?
I didn't see that in any of the
Rape
videos,
and
but
torture, but go ahead. I'm sorry. That's MKL. It's part of MKL.
no, go ahead. Talk about it.
No, that's what I was saying. I was just coming in to throw in some.
Tell us more about it.
Yeah, MK Ultra. There's Project Monarch. Like when you see on a magazine, like Britney Spears, like she's in the big battle right now with her father.
Yeah, she's kind of Looney Tunes.
She's 40, and her dad takes care of her money or some shit.
Yeah.
But why is she Looney Tunes, Dan? Do you know why? I'm just wondering.
No, I don't.
You don't think Walt has something to do with it?
It could be.
It wasn't the real Walt. But Mickey did. It was some bitch. Disney.
So you think Disney's the whole?
No, I don't think they're the whole. But he was best friends with the rocket guy from Germany.
Right.
What's his name? I can't fucking remember right now. Van Braun. Right?
Wouter von Braun, yeah.
The guy who made the rocket.
Right.
They were best friends. Well, there's a fucking video on there. It's from Disney. And it talks about eyes in the skies is what it's called, or eyes in space or some shit like that. And a lot of people don't think space is real. I mean, I know you do, and you have proof or whatever. But they were best friends. They, they're Masons, obviously. But this guy was a German fucking Nazi, Van Braun. So he comes over here, and actually Disney has Nazi cartoons from Donald Duck, which is fucked up. So yeah, go ahead.
How does this go back to Britney Spears, because she was in the Mickey Mouse?
Yes. Her and Justin Timberlake and what's the
Christina Aguilera and Black Eyed Peas chick and Fergie.
She was in it. Fergie was in the fucking Disney.
Maybe she was in another one. She was in one of those Kids Incorporated or one of those shows.
Really? I thought she was like 50 when she was fucking in.
Well, she is like 50.
Black Eyed Peas.
So you obviously believe there's some kind of mind manipulation, mind control.
I mean, we're all mind fucking controlled. All of us. Doesn't matter. Our parents, our grandparents, have all been mind controlled. I guarantee it.
We kind of talked about it with entertainment a few episodes ago, but
probably yes. The TV, that motherfucker is the biggest mind control box in the world.
So
Black Cube.
What's the whole thing? Just to control society?
For sure. That and make you buy shit, just like the movie They Live. Right?
So like subliminal.
Yeah. And there's actually
drink more Bud Light. Drink more Bud Light.
Here's a grab one. When they used to put at 1 o'clock in the morning, they used to turn off the TV or whatever and put on the fucking national anthem. Probably back in the 60s. I don't know if it was 60s or 70s. Maybe we'll throw this video up sometime. But they do the national anthem, and if you slow the words down, it fucking tells you that shit. Like to buy shit and to fucking.
Well, that's been
that's crazy.
It's been proven they've done subliminal stuff like that, and they even do it.
And they said it's illegal to do it, but I guarantee they still do it.
It's illegal to do the whole like cigarette commercials and stuff now, but they still smoke and stuff in movies. So what's the difference?
Do they still smoke? Have you seen? I have not seen, but I don't watch movies.
I mean, I don't watch a ton of new movies now, but
I know they smoke weed on like Joe Rogan and shit.
Not-
Weed though, weed's not.
not
even
they really
close.
do a ton on TV anymore, but I know in like movies and stuff they do. But
Really, because I remember like watching things like that, you know, where they light up a stove, and then now it's fucking rare.
that's
And they
'cause-
can name, you know, they banned commercials or whatever a long time, or advertisements,
Right.
Commercials probably for cigarettes. Now you gotta be fucking 21 in Michigan to do it anyways.
what are you messing out?
I mean, I don't care, but holy shit, it's crazy. So you can go to fucking war and fucking shoot people, but you can't buy
Yeah,
a
but when
fucking
you go to war-
stogie
when
if
you go
you
to
need
war-
a fucking
when you go to war, you can drink and smoke. So
because you're in a different country.
no,
Because we don't have war over
it's
here.
the
That would suck. People are like, fuck, I'm gonna go to war over there in fucking America.
I'm pretty. Maybe if somebody was in the military can answer this for us, let us know on Facebook or Twitter. But I'm pretty sure if you're in the military,
you can
it's
buy it.
not 21, it's 18. But I could totally be wrong because I
That
was
would be
not.
weird. So people that fucking started smoking when they're 14, like, I'm gonna join the army so I can still smoke.
Or just go to Jmar. I don't
Yeah, I would say Gene. Probably on the air. On the air.
So ultimately, you just think the whole mind control.
I think it's been around for fucking ever, and everybody's in it. Everybody's doing it.
I think on our, not necessarily the next episode, but a future one, we should really do a full-fledged Masons episode where
Yeah.
we talk about it from.
Actually, I was watching a video about the MK, looking for MK Ultra videos or mind control or whatever. There was this one that came up, and it was Rainbow Girls, right? It just said, look out for the Rainbow Girls or something. And they're young kids, young girls that are in training for Masonic, Freemasonry or whatever, right? They're young,
Right.
they're 14, 15. And they're probably, anyways, they're probably married, like, you know, like, we're going to make you marry each other. What's that fucking called? Organized wedding.
Right.
So I'm watching this thing, right? And the girl's like talking to this fucking guy. And she's like, well, it's over in Genesee County, and I'm right in Flint. It's not that far away.
Yeah,
It's like,
you-
what the fuck?
You started to tell me about that.
That was fucking crazy. We live like 20 miles from Flint.
So, what was the Rainbow Girls? Just like a.
Just like a training session for little girls. Probably to do whatever they want them to do. And then they're going to grow up to be someone's wife and just be fucking brainwashed for the rest of their life. Rainbow Girls. Look that up if you want.
So Rainbow Girls.
Right. Fuck, they're real close too.
Oh, they're probably everywhere.
Right, but they said it there. It's too close for comfort.
So how do you defeat mind control? I mean, there was all
You
kinds of
just
videos about
can't. You're
LSD.
done. It's over. Really.
I mean,
Don't you think?
Hmm?
Don't you think it's over? Like we're all fucked no matter what, really, kind of?
I think you have your own choice to do what you want, but
Sort of.
it's all
For now.
what you believe. I mean,
Don't you think they're going to try and change that, though, pretty soon with this COVID?
no, I don't. But
You don't think they're going to change people's rights and stuff and make them take a vaccine? Seriously.
I mean, we're on different sides of that one. You don't,
But why don't you think that? Why don't you think that's what they're trying to do?
because I think it's real. You don't. So
No, I think it's real, but these vaccines are pushing. But it's not as real as they're saying it's real. You know what I'm saying? Do you think it's that real?
Yeah.
You think it's fucking jamming? Like
Yeah, I do.
Florida's fucking crazy?
yeah,
What about New York? Not too long ago. Like COVID's the real deal that's killing everybody. I'm just asking.
yeah, I do actually.
It's not. They're like you could have an existing problem in your body, right? And all of a sudden you catch this fucking disease, which, like I said before, everybody has this fucking thing in them or something. There's no fucking way that everybody has this. And people are actually saying that they were sick last year with some crazy disease, or not disease, but crazy flu that nobody knows what it was.
Yeah,
knows
but
what it
this
was.
just isn't a 2020 thing. It didn't get here, didn't blow up here until
Right.
2020.
Right, because of Wuhan.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it was going on worldwide.
But it was probably maybe a year ago from now in Wuhan. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And it got there. China closed it off from China, but kept Wuhan blocked off, but didn't fucking stop flights or anything like that, and was fucking destroying the world.
So what about, like, say, Italy, for example? Because that's one of my
Someone
issues.
flew from Italy to fucking China, or from China to Italy.
Well, that's one of my issues that I have with the people that don't think it's real. And
I think it's a real flu.
I'm not saying you.
Okay.
But I've heard twice now in that people say that watch COVID will go away after the election.
That's actually when that fucking mask law goes away, is the 5th of fucking November, which is 2 days after the election. Which, if they have a mail-in election, we're not going to know who's the president for another fucking month.
We've had mail-in elections forever.
Dan, I'm telling you, dude, they got fucking cats are getting these things in the mail to fucking vote.
That's been proven to be false.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I wish you'd send me that link.
It's not a link.
Not a link.
It's stuff that I've seen.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Because people will say that people that don't even live at their house are getting mail-in ballots.
Well, I heard
they're not getting mail-in ballots. They're getting applications to people that used to live at those addresses.
Right. This one couple had a fucking cat that got one of those things. Not Chubbs. A different cat. And the cat was dead for like fucking 10 years. I'm just saying that can happen. The shit can fucking happen.
I'm not saying.
And what they are trying to say, like the conservatives are saying, that it can happen from another country printing these things off to other people.
But they can't do that.
Just wondering. I don't know.
Because they all get mailed back to your local precinct.
Well, I'm sure they're fucking posted data, or you know what I'm saying? Precinct, like, I know what you're saying. You don't think that can happen?
They get vetted by electorate. So
who are these electorates?
They're both parties, so you can't say conservative or liberal because,
dude, it's rigged as fuck, I think.
See, that's the only problem with that. And my issue, I think, with our current president,
just it could happen.
He's already setting the stage for something to happen if he loses. So
dude, honestly, I don't think he'll lose.
Oh no, we've had that conversation. I'm just saying.
I know. This whole thing could be.
It's like he just said last night or whatever on Twitter that he's going to try to suspend the election because of COVID. He can't do that. The date for the election is set by Congress, so the president has no power to set the date.
But he can, with shit, like, he can make an executive.
No, he can't.
He can't do that?
No, that's why there's 3 branches of power in the government. So one branch doesn't have all the power.
I don't know about that. I didn't hear that. That's crazy.
Yeah, he just tweeted about it last night. So
maybe he's throwing a little teaser out there.
Well, that's kind of people.
That's the only.
My liberal friends were getting all pissed off on social media about it.
Pissed off over everything.
And well, same thing with conservative friends too. Do the same exact thing.
I'm not pissed.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay, right.
Talking about other people.
Anyways.
You no. But they take it's the extreme sides of both sides, the left and the right.
And it's a probably mind control thing anyways.
Well,
it's probably the whole thing's a fucking deception anyways.
That's why I've always told you that Trump is no different than any other politician.
I know he is.
Do you know him personally?
We're tight. Very cool.
You're tight.
Kids are cool.
So LSD was part of the whole mind control thing.
Right.
And it kind of got taken over by the counterculture of the 1960s.
Yeah.
Timothy Leary was actually working with the government.
Was that in Hollywood?
I don't know if he was. I think it was I don't know where.
No, I'm just saying where it went.
But then he kind of left and turned counterculture, and I haven't done LSD, so I don't know what it's like. So have you?
Is LSD acid?
Yes.
Pretty much? Yeah, I've done acid. Man, it sucks, probably. It's probably not a good idea to do it more than a couple times in your life.
So what was it like when you did it? Just so, because I've never done it, so I don't know.
Well,
I mean, if you can remember.
Drinking at the same time.
Mickey's.
No. No. Is that a Mickey Mouse thing? Brainwasher.
You got your 4-0.
Anyways, so I don't know. It's you see shit. You can see some like floaters that fly by your shit. I don't know. Like I said, I was probably drunk when I did it, drinking. I mean, it's an experience everyone should probably have, just to have that experience. You're not gonna fucking die.
Well, so there's this tea that
that's
ayahuasca.
I've never done that, no. But that's like DMT,
Right.
which takes you supposedly to a different level in
Yeah, the conspiracy side of it was saying you
meet
you
gods and shit, supposedly.
right. You actually meet your real
Maker.
consciousness, or
Right.
that's not just a bad trip.
But you can also learn shit supposedly from that. You know, like marijuana back in the day, way back in the day. That's what they would do. They would smoke that and write a song. You know, write a song, brother.
Is that like Gerald Dennis would sit there and smoke his whole bag? And
no, there was ground brown back then, so they probably did smoke that old motherfucker. It's not the same, but like I said, then it's the fucking flower power, LSD and all that shit. Back in fucking Hollywood, where we were talking about Laurel Canyon, they were doing all that shit, and that's what made Charlie Manson's group do that shit. Probably he was brainwashing them, and he was part of the fucking CIA too. Ding ding.
So, do you think, since we're talking about mind control, do you think the whole flower power drug culture was set out by the CIA or whomever? It's like,
I think probably
smoke this, shoot this, snort this, whatever this, get all laid back, stick your, daffodils in your gun barrels and stuff.
You never did it.
Huh?
And you've never done it. I'm just joking.
No, I've never
like you haven't.
I've never done acid. I have smoked pot way back when.
Ground brown.
Did nothing for me, so
Ground brown.
So that's my extent, my drug extent, other than old fashioned.
Hit a like if you want to see Dan hit a doobie.
That's why I never smoked, because I couldn't inhale without gagging. So
Right. You never smoked cigarettes anyways, did you?
I mean, I tried to be cool as a kid.
It is cool.
Yeah, give me a pack of Merritts. What was it Skinner smoked? Marlboro or Winston's or something?
Marlboro Reds. Reds.
So do you think, like I said, the whole counterculture was pushed by the CIA? That kind of
I think all this fucking shit hasn't been planned. I mean, not necessarily it's gonna go this way, like I say this. Yeah, I think that they wanted the music to do that. What was that? That road, that street, the Heights or some shit.
Haight-Ashbury.
Haight-Ashbury.
Yeah.
Yes. And that group of people were all into the fucking same thing, and somebody came in.
Timothy Leary went in there.
So is he the one that started everything?
Yeah, that's why I'm saying he worked for the government. So
oh wow.
And then supposedly broke away.
He started everything.
Right.
But yeah, I think it was. I think they planned it. I don't know if they knew what exactly was happening, but it was an experiment, and that's what happened. And they're like, "Hey, Charlie, get a group of friends together, throw them this LSD, and you talk your fucking Beach Boys music to them, and make them fucking kill some people, like some famous people."
Hey, Manson actually hung out with the Beach Boys. So
right?
You never know.
That's what I'm saying. They didn't give him a gig or something. They treat him like a little fucking turd bird.
No, they actually, Brian Wilson, I think, recorded one of his songs for him.
Right.
which you can probably find that on YouTube or wherever too for $1.29 or whatever now. But I don't know who's getting all that money, but we should talk about that sometime, whether serial killers are.
A lot of them are, man. I think why? See, okay, serial killers. You got serial killers. You got little kids that are fucking snatched from their families, right? But there's thousands of each. But they pick certain ones to put on to spotlight, okay? Like John Benet Ramsey. Why the I mean, obviously it's a crazy story. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sure there's a fucking 1,000 of those crazy stories. There was a picture of John Benet Ramsey, and in the background there's a picture of Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah. What?
You'll have to send me that because I didn't even know.
It doesn't. You don't know for sure if it's her, but it looks like her, so they threw it in there. I don't know. But
Photoshop.
no, I don't think it's Photoshop. Dude, Photoshop. The Wayfair shit. There's some Photoshop stuff that's in that where they'll be selling this little bookshelf. Not a bookshelf, but just like a double shelf like this, right? But there's a picture frame like right here. It says Haitian Friends. Okay, whatever, Haitian Friends. Like it's like the picture without, like you buy in a frame without the picture in it.
Right.
It has like the maker of it, right? Maker of the frame. Well, it says Haitian Friends on it. Above that, there's a shelf, and it's got a book called Bloody Harvest. But there's words underneath the Bloody Harvest. You can't really see it. Then there's other shit on this little bookshelf for 10 grand, right?
That's a good bookshelf.
It's a fucking great bookshelf. So these people check that with this fucking app that checks Photoshop stuff. The Haitian Friends on the frame is photoshopped in there. Why the fuck are you photoshopping Haitian Friends? It's because that's where they get all these little kids. Okay, there's traffic or whatever, blood for organ harvesting. 2. So then these people checked out that Bloody Harvest book. It's a book about organ harvesting from people. Why are they putting this on an advertisement for a fucking shelf?
Well, you just said it was Photoshop, so somebody.
But they photoshopped it and on the fucking computer, like on Wayfair, is what I mean.
You sure they did or whoever posted it on?
Yes, they did. I don't care what anybody says. Wayfarers.
I mean,
some crooked. They were also given. There was a walkout of Wayfair from their employees like 2 or 3 years ago, where they were given the furniture to like the kids that get taken from their parents that cross the border. What the immigrants?
Yeah.
They were doing immigration homes and shit like that. So people started walking out on them for some reason for giving them furniture for that shit. And then all of a sudden this shit happens. I mean, there has been stuff that has been debunked, but there's also stuff in there that hasn't been debunked. You know what I'm saying? So it's keep going. It's going to keep going for a minute. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, my whole thing is we started talking about Photoshopping. That's why I don't believe many UFO videos that
but I mean,
have.
It's a Photoshop. It's a picture on the Wayfair site, but then there's all these people on fucking Anon sites, which anonymous sites or whatever, that just fucking look for the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All this stuff. That's what QAnon really is he's got a bunch of followers that fucking dig into whatever has been told. Okay.
But isn't it plausible that there are, like, you like to bring up Antifa all the time being terrorists or whatever, but don't you think there could be
tried making an executive order?
Hmm?
He put that executive order out to make them terrorists. Did you see that?
Yeah, but he can't do that because they're not terrorist groups are
all away from the country.
Are foreign. It can be domestic terrorism.
But they should. I think in real life, like gangs, aren't that a terrorist group? Don't you think?
Could be, yeah.
Say you're walking down the street in Flint, and this different sort of people come up to you with fucking tats all over them, and they fucking try shooting, not shooting you, but robbing you or something.
Right.
A group of them. That's fucking terror, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's just not outside the United States, so they're just fucking people. You know what I'm saying?
It's called domestic terrorism.
That's fucking horrible.
Anyways, my whole point about the photoshopping is I don't believe in a UFO videos now because so many people create fake videos.
But what about the Pentagon's videos? Do you like those? Where they had that little fucking dot going around?
I think that's interesting.
Do you think that's predictive programming?
I suppose it could be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit is coming. Now they just came out with, we found a spaceship that's not human made. Did you hear that?
No, I haven't heard that.
Yeah,
Tell us about it.
I haven't heard it. I mean, I heard that, but I haven't read into it yet because I was fucking.
So stay tuned for the next conspiracy.
I was brainwashed.
I brainwashed you with Bud Light. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
So, any final thoughts on HAARP or mind control?
And then 5G comes along. That's got to be some fucking shit with that kind of stuff too, right?
Yeah, we need to get into that deeper at another time because you brought it up last time too, and we just kind of skipped over it. I mean,
well, after they shut down all the schools for this COVID deal, they put fucking 5G all in every school. This is what I'm hearing. I didn't go to every fucking school and check it out. I hope people know that if they fact check us, that we're drinking beers and talking. I'm not trying to lie, but this is what I see, you know. But they've been doing that. Then there's this tree next to a 5G antenna right on the sidewalk, right? Well, one of the sides of the tree is dying, and the other side is good. So it's kind of fucking weird. I mean, it's
5G ants. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. The new movie, Tom Hanks movie, it looks like.
So you think 5G is sort of like HAARP with the whole?
And maybe it's part of it. Maybe, I don't know. It sounds like it, kind of, don't it?
I've only heard the negative stuff about 5G from you, so I don't really know too much about it.
Have you heard anything really about 5G? Did they tell anybody anything about it?
I just know it's supposed to be.
What did I say?
Yeah.
That's good. Then you're hearing the real shit, Dan.
Other than being 5G service for your cell phone.
I don't get fucking 5G on my fucking
No, I
phone.
don't either, and especially out here in the sticks where I live.
Well, just wait, Dan. They're gonna get you.
I mean, I get pissed off because I have my headphones on mowing the yard, and I'll go down my hill and lose signal. It's like, come on. So I want that 5G.
Frustrating shit. Right.
So
now, what about like your cell phone? You're talking about something, like we're talking about something right now. It's fucking my cell phone's right here listening to me.
yeah, I know.
Isn't that crazy? Like if you something like you're on Facebook or whatever, and all of a sudden the shit that you've been talking about pops up on the right. Is that kind of fucked up? Or not?
I mean, I don't know if I told you or not, but
Probably not.
Before my mom passed away, I bought her got security cameras, and I bought her an Echo Show. And just so someone came to the door, she could sit. And well, she goes to church the very first Sunday after I set it up. And when she gets home, she's talking to me, and she's like, somebody at church told me that thing's going to be listening to everything I say. It's like, yes, it does, but I shut it off. So
you can shut it off?
Yeah, you can shut the camera off, and you can shut off the
I'm a fucking idiot. Conspiracy.
I mean, I know conspiracy people out there, Brian, will say, yeah, you think you're shutting it off, but you're not. But yeah, I totally agree with you that our cell phones and everything.
It's fucking crazy.
I mean, why do you think you get those personalized ads on social media?
It's gonna be like that movie of Tom Cruise where they predicted murder before they committed murder.
Right.
What's that fucking called? That movie.
Minority Report.
Bang. Yes. But you walk up.
Say Tom Hanks or Tom Cruise?
Did I say Tom Hanks? My fault. Edit. So then but they'll walk up to a TV screen and it'll say, "Hey, you, Dan, you need some fucking right guard today? You smell like you do, buddy." Not me. I'm not saying that.
Speed stick, thank you. Hey, I freely admit it's an information age now, and that's
Right.
where all the
It's advertising.
currency is.
Right.
So
I guess.
it's all a mind control. That's what you're
That is
saying.
mind
The
control
entire
too,
world
right?
is nothing but a mind control.
Yeah, we're fucked. It's over. It's over. There's really nothing we can do. It's not going to get anything but bigger.
I'm not going to argue with you there.
It's probably a good idea, Steele.
Why you won't
Or I
let
mean,
me?
Floyd.
I don't care. Edit.
Edit.
So what do you want to talk about next time when we make our big announcement?
Shit, I don't know. It's in a couple of weeks. We'll figure it out.
Well, in the meantime, any final thoughts?
Not really. I mean, it's a pretty decent video.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed what you seen on this podcast or heard on this podcast, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube or NewTube. Or if you listen to us on audio on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever it is that you listen to this podcast, leave your comments. We'd love to hear what everybody thinks. And if you have a conspiracy that you'd like Brian and I to talk about on a future episode, we'd be happy to. So don't take our word for it.
Do your research. Later!
Brian and I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to subscribe either wherever it is you listen to the podcast or on YouTube. And if you have a suggestion of a conspiracy you'd like us to talk about, let us know on Facebook or YouTube at Conspiracy Beerists. And until next time, remember, the truth is out there. You just have to know where to look.
WLLP Spock Rock Radio.